We got one last haul here from June, as I currently sit here and know by July. So without further ado, let's get into the rest of this video. Alright guys, welcome into haul video number 115. So as I said at the top of the video, this is the last haul segment here from stuff that I ordered back in June. So I understand this is coming out in July, but I do promise you everything I have here was purchased in June. So we'll probably have a 1 or 2 week gap here where I don't post any haul videos just because I don't have anything else coming in. But yeah, very excited to show this stuff off today. It will be very nice to finally get my shelves, or my backlog stuff of what I need to do haul videos for clear. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into these segments. I don't have any trading cards this time around, so it's just going to be comics and Lego. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright guys, welcome back into the comic book section here for haul video number 115. So do have a couple places that I ordered here. I have in-stock trades orders. I have one book outlet order, which was kind of like my last chunk of books that I really cared to buy on that website. I know I said that last time when I purchased some books from them, but this time I think this is pretty much the pickings that I have. I do imagine though, like, their stock does change, so I'm excited to see kind of what comes up, the next round of books to get put on the site. So I'll just be keeping an eye out on that. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So starting off our list here, we have a couple of thin trades. The first one, the thumbnail for this video, and that is the AntMan World Hive trade paperback here. So this collects AntMan numbers 1 through 5 from 2020. I do believe I've read either 2 or 3 issues of this series when it was coming out. I read it on the Crackle Comics podcast back with Vince and Mike. So this should be a very quick read. I don't anticipate this taking me longer than a day to read, but you can see here some really good stuff going on. Looking at my shelf here for AntMan. AntMan really doesn't have a lot of collected stuff. I've pretty much read most of it. Like, I've read the first Epic collection, Growing Pains, Nick Spencer's run on AntMan, which was great. The Ant-Man and the Wasp, Lost and Found. So this is the most recent stuff to come out for AntMan, I think. Honestly, I'm not sure if this went past 5 issues. It might have just did 5 issues and that was it. Actually, I think it is because there's no volume number on this. So, yeah. It is what it is, but I'm excited to read this. This is, I'm sorry, Zeb Wells. Yeah, that's right. Zeb Wells as writer, artist Dylan Burnett, Mike Spicer on colors, which does really pop here. So, yeah, very excited to give this another read here and read the whole series in its entirety. So I'll probably read that before Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania comes out just to synergize. But like, pretty much I've read pretty much all my Ant-Man collection already, so yeah, whatever. The next 2 books here I bought were to round out yet again another corner of my collection that I've been meaning to finish up for a while now, but just never really prioritized it to pick it up, and that is the Tony Stark Iron Man section. So picked up volume 1, Self-Made Man. So again, if you guys watch my haul videos, you'll know that I purchased volumes 2 and 3 at the comic book trip I went on a couple weeks ago with my friends. So went ahead and picked up volume 1, which was on the book outlet website for like $6. So this collects issues 1 through 5 of that series. This whole thing got redacted. But again, just something that I hate to say I've obligated, but like, I do want to kind of sit down and just reread this whole series in its entirety and just evaluate for what it is. I still have a trade paperback or two to collect from like the Bendis era. I still have to collect like one Infamous Iron Man book, which honestly I don't know where I will find that because it's super out of print now, and yeah, but who knows. So but yeah, I still have like Ironheart stuff and like The Search for Tony Stark to read. So this is just one step along the way of kind of the modern Iron Man stuff. So yeah, I picked this up for pretty cheap. Collects issue 1 through 5 of the series, as I mentioned. Also then picked up Iron Man the Ultron Agenda, which I do remember reading most, if not all of this. And it's just only fitting that this is the shitty, like the destroyed version book that I got here, but again, not too big of a deal. I do remember this being really weird. There's like a Hank Pym, like Ultron conglomeration thing. It's really weird. Interesting though that this is called Iron Man the Ultron Agenda. Like, it's not called Tony Stark Iron Man the Ultron Agenda. And there's no volume number to it, but it clearly is volume 4 of the Tony Stark Iron Man series. So a little curious as to why that is, and I don't know what the collectors at Marvel figured. It does say the countdown to Iron Man 2020, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe it was like, this is kind of like our transition into that series, which I don't know if I want to collect that, because I've pretty much read it and it wasn't good, so I don't want to buy that, but we'll see. But yeah, this collects issues 15 through 19 of Tony Stark Iron Man, and as you can see here, there's some interiors there. So yeah, so I think at this point, I think I'm done purchasing this Tony Stark Iron Man. I think I have pretty much everything I collected. It only ran for 19 issues, and then you got the Iron Man 2020 stuff, which kind of pretty much piggybacked off of that. Dan Slott also wrote that, but yeah, it's interesting that like there's an omnibus that came out for this whole thing, which honestly I don't know how that got greenlit so fast, but it is what it is, right? And then that also collected, I think, all the 2020 stuff, so that's probably why I had it. But yeah, at this point I'm not gonna go get that omnibus. I mean, my one friend told me it was $30 at a place, and like I think I spent less than that for all these books, so I'm fine with that. So it is what it is. But yeah, finished that up, which is good. Next book I picked up here was another series that I don't believe I read, and that is the Black Widow, or the Web of the Black Widow miniseries, I guess, by Jody Houser, Stephen Mooney, and Triona Farrell. Collects issues 1 through 5 of the series. I don't believe I've read this. There was a Black Widow series that I was reading on the podcast. I don't think this is that series. So I went ahead and picked it up because, you know, most Black Widow stuff I've read is pretty good, honestly. I mean, I'm looking at my shelf now. There really wasn't any Black Widow stuff that I've read that like is really bad. I do have some areas in my collection to finish up with her. I do have to read the Marvel Team Up book and the Widowmaker collection, but aside from that, I mean, and including this, I have pretty much read my entire Black Widow collection, which again is not really much there, but it's something, right? So yeah, really excited to pick this up for, you know, all these came out to around $6 each, which you really can't beat, honestly. Next book I got here is actually in pretty much perfect condition, actually, aside from a little bit of fraying at the top, not too bad. This is another character that again has a very, very small library of collected editions, and I went ahead and picked it up because I did read a mini series of this character a couple years back, actually about 5 years back at this point, which is nuts to think about, and that is the Black Knight. This is Black Knight, Curse of the Ebony Blade. The other series that I read that was Dane Whitman, Black Knight, was it was called Black Knight, The Fall of Dane Whitman. So I do remember liking that. I don't think it was like my favorite thing to read, but it wasn't awful. So I'm excited for this. I'm a big Black Knight fan, kind of superficially, honestly, but you know, obviously I read, you know, the beginnings of the Avengers, his role in the Avengers only got more and more as the years went on, and then once you get into the 90s, he becomes kind of like the unsung leader of the group. When he gets like the laser sword then and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm very excited to read this. You know, classic Black Knight suit he's wearing there, so I think this will be good, and we'll give it a shot. So neat. This next book is honestly probably the whole reason why I purchased this haul of books from Book Outlet, because all the other books that showed up to this point were from Book Outlet. So this was the sixth and final book that I needed to get to free shipping, and that is Noir, a collection of crime comics. So I remember talking about this with my friends when it got solicited, and you know, I immediately became interested because I think at the time I was reading Criminal or The Fade Out or something, and you know, I heard Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips' name on this book, and I'm like, oh god, I got to get that because Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. So I went ahead and picked this up, and it's a very small hardcover by Dark Horse. Collects a lot of short stories, I would assume, from different creators. So you can see there at the back kind of what that is, but obviously the most notable ones: Jeff Lemire, Brian Azzarello, Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips, Gabriel Ba, Fabio Moon, Joel Jones. The list goes on here, but you know, all in black and white too. So very much excited to read this. This seems like a very quick read for me, and you know, yeah, I think this is gonna be really fun to read this. You know, a nice little treat here, and it's in this nice like hardcover that doesn't have a dust jacket. Something about this like format just really, like, I don't know, it just feels really nice to sit and read it, because it doesn't, it's more than a paperback, but it's not like a, you know, regular hardcover that has a dust jacket. It feels more complete to have like a book like this. But yeah, pick this up on that website for about $8 or so, with a cover price here of $25. I think that's a pretty good deal. I mean, that's almost 66% off. So yeah, very much excited to read this. It's only 104 pages, so we'll see how this goes. I mean, I don't know how many stories are collected in here. I mean, I think some of them are very short stories, so it should be very nice and interesting to read this. All right, so getting into my in-stock trades orders, I did make two. The first one here was kind of some stuff I was looking to wrap up for some series that I was collecting. And the first one here is volume 9 of Black Science. So again, comic book trip, I ended up picking up volume 7 and 8 of Black Science, which spurred me on to go get volume 9 here. So all that remains is volume 10 for me for Black Science, and I will have the entire series collected. I don't believe it's ongoing. I'll have to check, but I don't think it is. Rick Remender, Matteo Scalera, amazing art going on here. Just can't say enough about it, and so excited to sink my teeth into this series. You know, it's funny, I'm actually going to I'm going on vacation later this summer, and I've been thinking, you know, every time I go on vacation with my family, you know, we go to a beach, so I just bring comics to read when I'm down the beach. So I've been thinking pretty long and hard about what series I want to bring to the beach. I mean, I have a lot to choose from, obviously. So trying to finish off some of these will hopefully make it a little bit easier for me to decide what I want to do. But for something like this, I could see myself get through like this entire series, like 10 volumes of this, probably within that week, because like I could probably read a volume or more of this each day, which will be really nice in terms of like getting a lot read in a short amount of time. So yeah, very excited to get this. This collects issues 39 through 43 of Black Science, so that's that. All right. Another book I bought because of what I bought at the previous comic book trip I went on is another series I've started collecting, and that is Metropolitan Volume 5. This collects issues 25 through 30 of the series, written by Warren Ellis, art by Derek Robertson. So yeah, very excited to read this. I was kind of nervous that this was going to be like a higher quality book than like my other ones I have, but it turns out it's still the same quality paper. It's like more like cheapish type of paper, which doesn't bother me. It's still in color, so I'm not really gonna notice that too much. What it does do though, it does help cut down the cost. So this book was only 15 bucks with the IST discount. I think it was down to like maybe like, what was it, like $7 or something, which not too bad for that. So yeah, pick that up. I can't really say too much about the series because I haven't read it yet, but yeah, we'll get to that eventually in time for sure. All right. So this book is one that I picked up for the fact that I wanted to get something to complete a run of a character that I really love, and I've actually already read all the material in this, so it's again just there for completionist sake. But that book is Iron Man Stark Wars Epic Collection, which has come in and out of print, in and out of stock a lot, and I decided to go ahead and pick it up because I'm like, you know what, I did sell. Originally when I read this, I read it in 2 paperbacks, Armor Wars Prologue and Armor Wars paperback. I sold those to a friend, and with the intention of upgrading to this, because I think there is one annual in here I haven't read, so I'll have to read that at some point. But yeah, when I think of like my favorite eras of Iron Man, this is definitely at the top of my, not at the very top, but at the top of my list, top 5 for sure. You know, Michelini and Layton's return to Iron Man in the late 80s, I think, was very good. A lot of people don't like it as much as the original run they had back in the late 70s, early 80s, but I still think it's pretty good. It still moves the characters forward. And I don't know, just something about the art too. I really like it. You have Mark Bright, I think, and Barry Windsor Smith. Barry Windsor Smith does a issue towards the back here. I think it's issue 232. That's like pretty much just like kind of like a epilogue to Armor Wars, which really stands out in terms of art style. Obviously, you can see that right there. But yeah, if you're looking to read the entire Armor Wars storyline, just pick up this book. And yeah, very excited to get this. And this also did still have a cover price of $40, so it's nice to get kind of sneak this one underneath the radar here before they raise the price of $5 on this. But yeah, pick this up and can check this off as read on my list, which is really nice to have that. So yeah, really cool. Now really all we need left now to round out that like era of Iron Man is an Ironmonger Epic Collection, which I'm almost certain is not too far around the corner. I'm imagining that's probably gonna get announced within the next year or so, and probably come out in the next year or so as well. So we'll see how that goes. But fingers crossed for that. I would love to have that in an Epic Collection as well. Moving on here, we have another paperback or another oversized hardcover that I wanted to pick up because again, I quickly found out that oversized hardcovers from Marvel really don't stay in print too long, and they very rarely get reprinted, so I wanted to pick that up while I could. And this is for a series that I have been collecting. I've been slowly hunting these hardcovers down, and I want to have it because I want to read this whole character's history once the movie starts to come out, and that is Black Panther. This is the 4th hardcover of Ta-Nehisi Coates' run. This collects issues 13 through 25 of the 2018 series, titled The Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda Part 2. So I think this is getting up to around like 2020 when this came out, and I think I did read, I'm pretty sure I read some of these issues in this book. So pretty much like, I don't know all the details, but I know at some point like Black Panther goes to space, and like there's a whole space plot line going on. So yeah, I'm very excited to give this a read, and again, just wanted to pick this up before it kind of went out of print because I have all the other hardcovers, and my plan is, sorry, I probably spit on camera there. My plan is to read Kirby's run, which I still haven't read yet. I've read all of Don McGregor's stuff. Read Chris Priest, then get into Hudlin, and then read Coates' run. So I think that's a good amount of stuff to finish up and read here So that's probably going to be the extent of my reading, probably for most of October and November until the movie comes out. So yeah, it'll be nice to finish off my Black Panther stuff, because I really have been wanting to read Chris Priest's run for a while. I've heard so many good things about it. So I really want to get my hands on reading that in the near future. So yes, very excited to have this as well. All right, and then the last book, the biggest book of the lot, the one that I was really looking forward to getting the most, honestly, when I heard it announced, because for me, like, you know, this is a DC book, which for me, it's very hard to get into. Like, you know, I'm very selective of what I pick with DC in some ways. You know, I like to pick stuff that I know is like going to be really, really good. And this was something that I just was sold on because of the creator. Really, really love the creator's work. And that is the Question Omnibus Volume 1. So again, this is written by Dennis O'Neil with art by Dennis Cohen. And this collects issues 1 through 27 of the Question Annual number 1, Green Arrow Annual number 1, and Detective Comics Annual number 1. So a lot of great stuff in here. This is a volume 1, so I'm hopeful that DC will give us a volume 2 and not cancel this like they did Starman, because we still haven't gotten a second compendium for that yet, which I think there should be a second one coming out. I don't think that's the whole series collected in that. But yeah, very, very excited to get my hands on this. This was actually a very decent price too. I mean, for a giant omnibus like this, it was $100 cover. With my discount and my frequent shopper discount, I got this for actually half off. So $50 for this is not bad at all. I mean, this is a very big book. So I'm very excited to read this, and just, yeah, very, very much excited to take my teeth in this. It's funny, like, when the club and I went on our first comic book trip back when I was in college, I remember my friend picking up like a lot of the older out of print trade paperbacks of this series, and to have like the first chunk of this series collected in an oversized hardcover feels really nice. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a good treat. I love what Dennis O'Neil did with the Iron Man character back in when he took over the reins back in the 80s. So I'm just very, very much excited to see how he takes this character. He's a very like realistic writer in a lot of ways, if that makes sense. So like, I think what he's gonna like, the story he's gonna weave in this is gonna be very real and very grounded, which is something that I really love to, you know, that's definitely like a favorite like genre of comics for me, if that makes sense. Like, obviously I feel like I have a very eclectic taste for comics, but like, you know, right now I'm reading Thor, which is a lot of like out in space and, you know, Asgard and stuff like that. So it'd be nice to change the pace at some point and read something like this. So yeah, very much excited to get that. And that is my haul here for comics. So yeah, really excited, a lot of good stuff here. And now I can finally go put it on my shelf. So thank you guys so much for watching this section of the video. Alright guys, so welcome into the Lego section here for haul video number 115. So as usual, I don't really have too many sets here to show off, unfortunately. I guess maybe we can talk about that for a little bit. Again, like I said, I'll know by July, so I'm not really buying a lot of sets. And honestly, like, there really hasn't been a lot of sales going on for Lego recently. Like, up until like maybe like I think May might have been the last time we had like some crazy sales. Like Target has been really quiet, Amazon as well. There's price increases coming in August for Lego, so I'm honestly probably gonna sit tight until like maybe like September, October, like until like some of the new like the next round of sets starts getting discounted and sales start popping up here for Target and Amazon and, you know, Lego and stuff like that. But yeah, just really not willing to spend more money on sets. Like I'm just gonna play the waiting game. And another thing too is like I am just not buying as many sets as I would probably buy like this time last year. Like, you know, Speed Champions, I'm not really picking up those sets anymore. Like just I'm just I just don't really have much interest in purchasing those sets really. So yeah, it's good in some ways because like I'm saving money and I don't have to worry about space a lot, but for terms of content for this channel, I guess it's not too bad. But I did pick up one set here, one set that I really was looking forward to getting once I heard it was announced, and I think it's I'm gonna try to reconfigure my like setup here because I'm probably gonna put this near my record player because it's based on music. If I didn't give it away already, and that is the Lego 21334 Jazz Quartet Lego idea set. So honestly, this is very, very similar to the one to the idea, like the actual submitted idea that we saw. Like this looks pretty similar to that, with some minor changes, you know, but this set retailed for $100 with 1,600 pieces. So price per piece, you really can't beat that. The figures look amazing. You know, you have a trumpet player, a cello, drums, piano. This is just probably, this is going to be an absolute treat to build. Not just that, but the box art here is just absolutely spectacular as well. Lego knocked it out of the park with this. You got that classic black box art there, with the burgundy, you know, undertone. But yeah, this is this is my pickup that I got here. So I did buy this on June 30th. I did get double VIP points for that, and I did use, I think, $20 of my Lego VIP like rewards towards it too, so I didn't get it for full price. I saved 20 bucks, which was good. So I'm trying to like use it slowly. I'm not trying to like use it all at once because I want to kind of get like little discounts here and there on stuff. Kind of helps in my wallet. But yeah, double VIP points on this was really nice. One thing I totally off base here, but one thing I noticed with Lego is they, like, when it comes to the amount of VIP points you get, if you use like VIP rewards, like, so if you use $20 of rewards, so this set was $100. So I only got $80 worth of rewards points, which I think is like kind of scummy because it's like the money that I use to pay should be used to pay for. Like, it shouldn't count towards how much rewards I get, if that makes sense. Like, so I should have gotten double VIP points for a $100 set versus an $80 set. So I noticed that now, and I'm probably gonna keep that in mind in the future. Like, if I am doing double VIP points, it makes more sense for me just to like spend the full amount, get the maximum amount of points so I can get the maximum amount of rewards later. I didn't know that because I know a lot of places like don't do it that way. Like Target doesn't do it that way. Like when it comes to like delivery like thresholds, like they'll use gift cards as payment versus like a discount off the total. So like, you know, Target's shipping threshold is $35. So like if I use like a $20 gift card on like a $50 purchase, it's not going to drop me below that threshold where I have to like pay for shipping. Then it's like, okay, your total was $50, you're getting free shipping, and then you're going to use $20 as payment, and then the rest of it's going to be on your credit card or whatever. So I think that's how it should be. But again, it doesn't surprise me because Lego does stuff like this that just try to bring out as every cent they can. But yeah, so little rant aside, that is my Lego section here, so not too much, but thank you guys for watching this part. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching haul video number 115. As I said, not too much to go over here. This video will probably still end up being about 30 minutes or so, but yeah, just very excited. Yeah, so the rest of this month I have a couple of sets to build, so I should be occupied with in that regard. Definitely always will have enough reading ahead of me to enjoy, but forgot to mention too, I'm actually into the Walter Simonson run on Thor right now, so I'm about a little over a third of the way through the Omnibus. Enjoying it so far. Kind of waiting for it to kind of get really good. I don't know if that's the point yet. Anyone who's read it can tell me otherwise, but yeah, still waiting for it to get really good. But again, really nice to have this, and now I can go ahead and put all this stuff away and organize it and just focus on reading and building. So until next time guys, I will see you on the flip side. Peace.